Okay, we have a dupe Holocaust, dupe 3, so they are even on cards. It was Spawn. I'm so smart. They both place a 5 multi, and I'm unfamiliar. I think that's the Thor 12 right off the bat. It's a very interesting play. Looks like he pretty much placed out. He's got Raza placed on Starjammers, which is going to be a little difficult to deal with since he has his negator in the back. But he did discard a Holocaust. So if he has his negate, oh, he just ran. He had all activators. Oof.
So we have John Keffer versus Phil Miller first round with one.
John Keffer, Phil Miller. Okay. Thank you. John Keffer, I played him in the last Valhalla. He always brings very interesting deck ideas. So I'm not surprised to see that it's Betsy Braddock, Psylocke, and Beta Ray Bill belongs to John Keffer. Tip of the hat. A dupe Thor, Gift to the Gods, and 3 dupes for Phil Miller. So that placing advantage isn't going to be as oppressive. It's interesting to see Phil come here and bring the Cadillac deck. I guess he really wants that 3rd championship axe that Larry's giving away.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Very good. I don't know what my technical difficulties were, but I cleared them up.
It looks like Phil ventured 1, and I can't see the bottom of the screen. I think John ventured 2, and he plays Vertigo. He had a negate in his hand.
Yeah.
That's
Does Phil have 6 up top? Is that what that is?
no. He won and run.
Okay. Oh, so it's 6 and 1 in the bottom then for Phil. Understood.
He's John Keffer is looking at the spawn pin. He would have to discard 2 cards to be able to play anything with Thor. So that 12 is going to be even more expensive now. He lets it hit. I guess he had 4 activators in the first hand, so maybe he just doesn't have anything to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big hill to overcome, considering he's staring at 9 placed cards. Phil.
Phil's got such a huge placement advantage at the moment.
It's that's like poker. It's Phil's chip stack is much bigger.
So it looks like John just played the card to go get the Thor special.
I love it. You don't see Thor, so he's
Yeah.
he's already has the 12 placed. So Thor has an 8 multi. What else?
Yeah. Well,
God,
the other
and
thing is,
yeah, he'd have
um,
to play to any card he gets. He's going to have to discard 2 cards.
well, it's only attacks, right? So I mean, he could potentially get the avoid if he had the avoid in there. I mean, he is staring at the Raza on the other side, which could get rid of everything on him. His Scarlet Witch has the discard a place card, which obviously you can't avoid because it's opponent. But so Phil's got a lot of ways to potentially deal with that 12 before it even gets there.
Well, that's what's so interesting about playing Psylocke and Thor. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just your opponent and us included. We just don't know what he's going to do. That's great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we're
hope it
hoping
works
that.
out. I hope it works out for him.
Yeah. Hmm.
If there's a unique deck prize up today, I think
He's in the lead so far.
yeah, John Keffer is in the lead.
Yeah. I want to say I think he's going to get the avoid. I don't know that there's anything else that would make sense for him to get if it's an attack special. Hmm. Okay, looks like he's having Phil's having him reshuffle. Yeah.
He it's just he's in a bad way with Marauders Vertigo getting negated. Yeah, he has a 3-chain attack from this teamwork. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's got the defense.
Hello, gentlemen. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud,
Welcome to the party, Joe.
loud and clear.
Well, do overpower. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty here this morning, guys, but it looks like we got a hell of a match going with Phil Miller and John Keffer.
Already lost his Marauders. Yeah.
So I've got to ask, since I'm just getting in here, is he playing Donald Pierce in the back, or did an event come up that made him swap?
That was his choice. Donald Pierce in the back. He's got Psylocke, Betsy Braddock, and Beta Ray Bill. A first for me ever seeing it in play.
So it looks like he just played Viking Pyre, so he's going to pull as many cards as he wants out of his deck. I can't tell. Looks like he's playing Age of Apocalypse. A lot of times people will
Yes.
engineer a perfect hand and put the reshuffle event on top so they can immediately just reshuffle the deck after their perfect hand. But what we'll probably see here is him just pull all the cards out for his dead character. So now Phil killing it won't actually generate any discards. Phil's just going full classic Cadillac today.
Yeah.
Classic Cadillac. We just don't know what his Cataclysm Any Hero card is.
That'll be interesting. I've seen a lot of arguments back and forth for using the lockout for the Cadillac to increase the defense or going right for the draw 3 just to keep the power coming. So those who don't know, I don't believe it was Phil's choice to play this deck. He actually traveled in from Ohio and realized he had taken his deck out of his whole box of cards. So he needed to put a deck together on the fly, and I think someone had a Cadillac.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Not that it's a bad deck, though. He's clearly doing what the Cadillac does, which is just peppering with teamworks.
Yeah, if there's one deck that drives itself, it's the Cadillac, and Phil definitely knows that deck. So he's going to be in good shape, as we're seeing already.
So Phil throws a couple of attacks. He throws a teamwork with another follow-up. That's an any power, so it's not going. The teamwork itself is not going to add to the spectrum. but he's got 9 points of damage now on Beta Ray Bill with 1 intellect icon. Phil lets the 3 intellect hit. He fires back and takes out that 5 multis. So Phil's going to hope that makes it so Beta Ray Bill now can't complete his teamwork. And he's going to essentially stop 11 points of venture by discarding the 5 multi this battle. What if this card...
Sorry, Joe, you can't see, but Thor is actually under Spawn's finite power, so it would be even more expensive to play that teamwork card.
Interesting. What is the card that's in the middle of the table? That doesn't even look like an overpower card to me.
I've been staring at it with my ADD eyes all day. I believe it's a Pokemon card meant to screw with the people here at the booth.
All right.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So
Wow,
yeah, he
so
just created that bell.
Wow, so
This
Phil is knocking the characters out left and right.
No, that was actually John who KO'd his own character.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh.
Yeah. He did that with his onslaught activator. So he's down 2 characters, but he did already engineer his deck with the Viking Pyre. So it's interesting to see what John.
I think I see what he's doing. I think he's trying to engineer his deck to just do a full lockout. He's ahead on venture. He's got 2 in the top. Did he just venture 1 this battle?
I think he went 2. It looked like he went 2. But yeah, if he went 1, he'd still have enough to go for the victory.
Yeah, so maybe his idea would be to let Betsy Braddock die, lock out Donald Pierce. I mean, if he engineered his deck, I'm sure he's putting 2 lockouts out there either way.
Yeah, because that makes sense. And if he's going with the one that makes the opponent -1 to venture, so this way the lockout he's at least got the 1 point.
Yeah, so that's interesting too. So he's making Betsy immune to whatever event he put at the top of his deck.
See, I don't know if this is wise. Phil's obviously ahead in all aspects of the game. Why wouldn't he just pass and save his cards?
And save the ability. So one thing, when you maybe he hasn't detected what the plan is here. He might just be feeling good that he's knocked both his characters out. But a lot of times, if you're worried about a lockout strategy, you don't want damage on the character. You want both characters empty, so the battle, if they only have one of the 2 lockouts, you can stack as much damage. He's put himself in a position where probably 80% of the cards in the Cadillac will be a kill shot on Psylocke. And if he's got the lockout that he's engineered, all right, so that event, does somebody want to look that one up?
Yeah,
We have...
real quick. I know it's Age of Apocalypse.
Yep.
Is that the no strength?
I don't believe it is.
I've got my stack of events here. Hold on.
So whatever it is, Psylocke's immune to it, so she can ignore it. Phil's got a teamwork that he's placed. Phil places the confusion on the back.
Oh,
so
okay. I can say it's move all mission cards currently in the lost mission to the reserve.
That's exactly what he does. That is a brilliant... Wow, that's so smart.
Great strategy. Yes.
So that's awesome. What a great play. So he's just moved all his missions up. He's given himself an ability. He does it. He bets 5 for the win. Phil is going to draw his 3 cards.
Fantastic.
So he's now engineered with the Beta Ray Bill card, Viking Pyre, the ability to lock out both of his people. And if Phil engineered an event that said no activators, which is probably... I didn't see if Phil had an event.
It wasn't the engineer. Yeah, it was the God hand, so it wasn't the one where everybody gets to engineer their hand.
What a brilliant play. So exactly what we thought he did. So he engineered the lockout at the top of the deck. He does the double lockout. So Phil has 0 venture right now. If John can hit Phil with 1 single card in the rest of the hand,
he doesn't need to. He's using Marvel Manhattan or Marvel Universe.
Oh, look at that.
As it is right now, John's ahead. 1-0.
If Phil doesn't have a way that he can generate a point of venture, this game is in the bag.
The Cadillac doesn't do the opponent -3 or you are +3. He's going to have a negate to clear out one of those lockouts.
Now I'm going to assume, John, where he engineered all 8 cards, that he's definitely going to put both negates at the top. You know, John's a
100%.
very experienced player. He knows the 2 things that deck could do is have its Merlin negate and have its and look at that. He's just to really lock it in, he's playing the post -3 to venture.
Just poking.
So he's going to try to negate.
Try to negate it.
I want to welcome to the chat King Phil.
Phil,
just joined us.
Phil, your blood is winning this game against Phil Keffer right now, it looks like.
What?
Yeah, he negated it. Unless he's got Merlin.
So he negated the negate.
I
think
John had some crazy deck.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic, and it's really fun to watch him play it.
It was really fun. I didn't have any idea what he was doing, and now that I see it in action, it's amazing. Oh, okay. So Phil is going to try to use his... this could be a brilliant play. Phil's going to try to web-headed wizard. Now, the idea here is Phil's going to go get a negate. Now, there's 2 schools of thought. You could either... He could choose to negate this, but if Phil has the Merlin in his hand, he's going to be able to open up one of the characters. But if you let him go get a negate, and he does have the Merlin, he definitely has the 2. So it's a question here of what the line is. You know, if you let him go get a card, he's going to get it. Yeah, I think you have to negate that.
You have to negate that. And he has to have the 3rd negate.
Oh, and maybe he might actually be able to... Nope, he's just stacking up more venture.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, the card.
Oh, my God.
Right. That's why I love this game.
So, for those who don't know, that is Hades, Lord of the Underworld. It says, if you have bet no more than 2 cards, you can take all of the cards that have been ventured and return them. You concede the battle, so you lose, but none of the missions are moved. So John has just basically taken all the cards out of his deck to set up that hand. Is he just giving up the game? I don't even know if he'll be able to draw a full hand at this point.
That was just
So those are the 2 cards left in John's deck. He has a 7 and a 5 to play the rest of the game with. So he's shaking hands. Wow. Wow.
There was only 1 card that would save, and Phil just had just had the nuts. It was a fantastic play by John.
He
did
John's
everything
deck,
right.
I'm going to call it right now. I sincerely hope we see John in the top 8. I want to watch this deck play again. That is an absolutely brilliant deck that he put together.
Yeah.
And like you said, Phil, man, just always seems to have it. So there wasn't... The interesting thing there, though, is he had, with the negate and Gemini, to let him go get a card out of his dead pile, and Hades, Lord of the Underworld, so he could run. Phil engineered the defense against the lockout. So you really got to give Phil credit is he looked at that and he made sure if he locked out 2 characters, he had enough ways to get rid of it to get by 2 lockouts. I don't think the average player is going to realize what's going on and be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's also something to keep in mind, too. John's going to be playing I think the field today is primarily battle sites. Any heroes haven't been seen as much play with Devourer gone because you can play battle sites now and people want to exercise the creativity. But Phil, by forgetting his deck and being forced into playing any heroes, was in a unique situation there to put those cards at the top and be able to do the math on the spot of how to get out of that situation.
Yeah, you got one of the strongest players playing the strongest deck. So you're going to look to see that. You're going to see Phil do very well today, I believe.
What a great man. I hope every single match for the rest of the day is as crazy as that. What a great first match. Oh,
you know, you gotta feel for John. He put together such a unique deck. Nobody knew what he was doing, and it all came down to the last hand. He bet for the win. He was staring at victory, and Phil just had the ability to pull it out. Phil,
that was great.
The whole game we said up. Phil's ahead. John's getting crushed, and John knew exactly what he was doing. He waited. And unfortunately, that one card saved Phil.
I can tell you, I want to see Beta Ray Bill in the top 8 of an overpowered tournament for the first time. I'm really hoping John can do that. And we get to see him on camera.
And original Psylocke on the front line. Also,
Exactly.
Yeah, not only Beta Ray Bill first time in the top 8.
Yeah.
Not only first time in the top 8, but first time I've ever seen him played in any overpowered match ever.
Yeah, I've never seen him played before. Oh, and he's putting his Pokemon card toward the camera. Thank you, John.
Do we know what how many entrants there were?
15, which is not. Oh, John's giving us a nice. Hey, John. We only have 15 attendees. There was a couple of last-minute cancellations, but for those who don't know, Valhalla is our newest tournament. We only added it on 2 years ago. All the other tournaments have a much longer history, and 15 is the highest number that we've had for the tournament so far. So it is the record for this event, and it's only going to keep growing. You know, we had a lot of people coming in from areas, but the 4 local people, it was just a bad weekend for them. So, you know, Keith, you couldn't be here. A couple of the other players had a wedding that they were all attending together. So when we do this tournament next year, I think it's very easily going to break the 20-person mark for the first time, which is great. In Boston, guys, if anyone listening, if you've listened to us rattle on 10 minutes after the match ended, come to Boston. We have a ton of local interest. I think we're going to have over 40 people. So
that's going to be great.
Yeah, and I think we one of the things that people in the past have said is a couple years ago we had it outside of Boston, and people didn't really get to experience Boston culture. And this year we might have a downtown location right in the heart of everything. So it's definitely going to be a tournament you shouldn't miss.
all right, guys. I think we're going to take a little bit of a breather here, and we'll see you when the next match starts.
All right.